And I didn't think it did this much damage until I opened the door and seen everything.
Tornadoes tearing through the state, leaving death and destruction in their wake.
It's just sad, it's a sad day, you know, for Sullivan.
With nothing left to do but pick up the pieces, communities are now coming together to overcome and rebuild.
We're blessed. We're just blessed that that's all that happened.
We are just so amazed. It's so wonderful, the outpour that we've had from this community here. It's just wonderful.
It's devastating, but things can be replaced.
24 hours ago, a deadly storm was tearing through our state. Tonight, we know that destruction was caused by at least 7 tornadoes, and there could be more. Survey teams will be back out again tomorrow. In Sullivan County, an EF-3 tornado wiped out homes, impacting hundreds and killing at least 3 people. In Johnson County, an EF-2 tornado demolished parts of Whiteland, leaving neighborhoods nearly unrecognizable. And now we're seeing the aftermath of that storm. Our team coverage tonight at 11 takes us into the hardest hit areas of central Indiana. But first, we do want to take a look at how quickly this storm took hold of the Hoosier State. Kelly Green walks us through the timeline.
The first tornado touched down in Sullivan County at 10:23 p.m. The storm ultimately destroying about 200 homes in just about 11 minutes. At 10:45, an EF-1 tornado touches down in Clinton County, this one spending about 8 minutes on the ground. At 11:11, the first tornado lands in Howard County. Another touches down just 4 minutes later. 5 minutes after that, a third tornado, this one an EF-1. At 11:27, a brief touchdown in Bargersville, and then at 11:33, an EF-2 causes widespread damage across Whiteland. 1 hour, that's all it took for this storm system to produce 7 damaging and deadly tornadoes.
In Sullivan County in southwest Indiana, that EF-3 tornado packed winds of up to 155 miles an hour. It killed 3 people, injured at least 10 more. Our Rich Nye was with Governor Holcomb this afternoon, surveying the damage.
This impacted area of Sullivan is under curfew from 7 p.m. until 7 a.m. after a devastating tornado ripped through this little town at about 10:30 on Friday night. 155 homes were destroyed just in this city, 200 throughout Sullivan County. The tornado warning was issued at 10:08 Friday night, giving residents about 22 minutes to prepare.
What we try to do is to provide information and get warnings out in advance, and then people have an action plan that they know what to do and can take cover. And I guess if there's a silver lining, it's that, despite the tragedy, the terrible tragedy, that there wasn't more lives lost or people hurt.
Inside this house, Lacey Bogard braced for impact with the granddaughter on her lap and her 2 sons.
I come out on the porch and I said, it's coming, and my son told me, he's like, quit being over dramatic and go back to your room. When the lights went off, I said, it's coming, and I went in. She was on my bed, and I just dove on top of her, and then my oldest dove on top of me and her, and my youngest was in the living room with trying to get the dog, and it was over within 30 seconds. It was terrifying.
Lacey and her family are okay. They salvaged what they could from what's left of their house. They have a place to go. Governor Holcomb arrived Saturday afternoon to meet survivors like Lacey. The governor surveyed the damage with the Sullivan mayor and thanked the cleanup crews.
You see, the folks that are here who have come from far and wide to help this city. This was a horrific event, but it brings out the absolute best in people too.
Someone in this area obviously collected sports cards. Their collection is now scattered throughout Sullivan. Here's a Charles Barkley. This is not the kind of March Madness we wanted to see. In Sullivan, Rich Nye, 13 News.
Certainly not, Rich. Thank you. The cleanup process in Sullivan likely will take many months, and those who made it through the storm are sharing their survival stories, hearing warnings, and then taking action.
This just is devastating. I mean, everything that has been here all these years is just gone. I mean, our friends and neighbors' houses are to the ground.
With more than 150 homes destroyed just in the city of Sullivan, families certainly need help with recovery. The city is offering assistance with food, water, shelter, clothing, even housing vouchers. They are asking anyone who needs help to call this number, 812-638-2023, and leave a detailed message so someone can call you back. We also have this number on our website for you tonight. Meanwhile, the city says it has been overwhelmed by the support it's receiving from others.
So many people want to help, but they just don't know how. And we appreciate everybody's help, but at the same time, we are still in a search and rescue operation, and we want to make sure that we don't necessarily flood the areas, right? So many people do want to help, but we want to make sure our first responders and our officials get everything taken care of. So kind of, I guess my best advice would be stand by, and we'll definitely announce our needs over the coming days.
The Wabash Valley Community Foundation has set up a donation fund. You'll find a link tonight at WTHR.com. All right, now to Johnson County, where another tornado flattened parts of Whiteland, just east of US 31. This is where the governor today declared another emergency disaster. From the air, you can see the tornado's destructive path in Johnson County, a direct hit that damaged Whiteland fast.
It was like within 5 minutes. This is what happened within 5 minutes.
It's unbelievable. Never seen anything like it. 60 years old, I've never seen nothing like this in this town.
An EF-2, according to survey teams with the National Weather Service, 135-mile-an-hour winds, destroying homes and changing lives in an instant. Anastasia and her family heard the warnings and took cover right away.
As soon as we got in the tub and my other family went to the bathroom, the lights cut off and the tornado, it just hit. It was fast, it was a lot of wind. And I didn't think it did this much damage until I opened the door and seen everything. The monster storm that hit just before midnight showed the result of its fury in the light of day. Houses off their foundations, cars now mangled metal, debris and downed trees everywhere. The cleanup for families almost overwhelming. And we're all going through the same thing, and I'm just grateful that everybody made it out okay. That is the good news in Whiteland. No deaths, no serious injuries, and now no shortage of help.
We bought 2 pallets of water, some blankets, and some other things.
Business owners like John Merrill went shopping Saturday and dropped off donations at the new Whiteland Fire Department, a room full of goodwill for neighbors in need.
My golden rule in life is if somebody would do something for me, I'll do it for them. And I can tell you that I bet there's not a citizen in Whiteland that if they knew I needed help, wouldn't help me. So it's that simple.
Same giving spirit at Greenwood Middle School, where storm survivors can take temporary shelter.
People have just been so gracious and just an outpour of love from this community for their neighbors.
Hoosiers helping Hoosiers after a devastating storm. Several organizations in Johnson County are helping tornado victims, from the Salvation Army to the Fire Angels. And if you shop at Kroger, you can make a donation at checkout. Just ask the cashier. Also, we do want to let you know that classes are canceled at Franklin College in Johnson County on Monday because that campus is still without power. And really, power outages happen statewide, Kelly.
Yes, and really not surprising with all the wind we had and the strong winds even today. Most areas are starting to improve, and we are improving across the state, but we still have areas that are really without power in portions of Sullivan, Owen, as well as Morgan counties, and it is going to be a cold night to be without power. Temperatures already into the upper 30s right now in Indianapolis, 41 in Shelbyville, 39 in Greencastle. Wind chill values making it feel like it's 25 in Kokomo, feeling like 32 in Indianapolis. Temperatures overnight fall into the low 30s. I'll have details about another threat of severe storms coming up. Jenny?